Lyon, France, is the second most populous area in France after Paris. Situated on the confluence of two rivers, the Saône and the Rhône. It was a convenient stop on the TGV line heading north from Barcelona. Our apartment was just a few minutes from the train station, and we got our first taste of winter weather for the season along the way. We stayed in the 3rd arrondissement, part of the newest sections of Lyon. Lyon is known for its gastronomy, and we found some local cafes and bistros with excellent food. Not far from the Part Deux train station, Les Halles de Lyon Paul Bocuse is a true Lyon food destination and bears the name of the Pope of Gastronomy, an icon of Lyonnaise cuisine, Chef Paul Bocuse. We first became aware of Monsieur Paul, as he's affectionately known, and Lyonnaise cuisine in general, in a 2014 Anthony Bourdain episode. Monsieur Paul was maybe Bourdain's greatest idol. Tony called meeting him a dream come true and described the meal he ate as the meal of my life. Monsieur Paul inspired the Disney character Auguste Cousteau, and over 1,000 of his fellow chefs attended his 2018 funeral. For over 100 years, the original Lyon covered market was across the Rhône in the 2nd arrondissement. Les Halles replaced it in 1971, and Monsieur Paul added his name after it was updated and elevated in 2004. It's like no other food hall we have ever seen. The grocery shopping alone is phenomenal. From wines to cheeses, meats, breads, seafood, and sweets. One Lyonnaise sweet we tried was their pink praline. Then there are the restaurants. The Michelin star restaurant Paul Bocuse is way outside our Nomad budget, but the food at Les Halles was very affordable. Avic selected seafood paella and foie gras. I went with another Lyonnaise specialty, quenelles. These seafood-based dough balls were baked and served with soup and dessert. Our outstanding lunch totaled $53 with plenty of leftovers. There's a bus stop right outside Les Halles, and Lyon also has tram and subway networks. All can be accessed with a transit card, and we got the 48-hour unlimited variety. As alluded to, Lyon is an old city, with the oldest parts dating back to Roman times. As with most Roman cities, Lugdunum, as it was called, was built on a hill above the river Saône, so we took the funicular up, also covered by our transit cards. The Fauvier hilltop, overlooking the Saône and Rhône, has been inhabited for at least 4,000 years. Celtic Gauls settled here sometime after the 5th century BCE, and after Julius Caesar conquered Gaul, Rome started settling the area and the Roman city Lugdunum was founded. The name Lugdunum comes from the Gaulish name for the settlement, and that eventually became Lyon. The French name of the hill comes from the city's forum. 2 Roman emperors, including Claudius, were born in Lugdunum, and by the 2nd century, it was one of the major cities of the empire with up to 200,000 inhabitants. The top of Fauvier was the center of Lugdunum, where the forum and main temple were located, now occupied by the 19th century Basilica of Notre Dame. The style is a blend of Romanesque, Gothic, and Byzantine, and its Byzantine-style mosaics are particularly stunning. As Lugdunum grew, It extended along the river, and the cathedral is down on the banks of the Saône. The building was completed in the 15th century, but Lugdunum is one of the original dioceses of the Christian Church, dating from the 2nd century, and an archdiocese since the 6th century. The Archbishop of Lyon also holds the title Primate of the Gauls. The cobblestone streets of medieval Old Lyon lead away from the cathedral, long and narrow, mostly parallel to the river. Faster access between the hill and the river was needed by merchants, and facilitated by narrow alleys and sometimes stairways cutting between main streets, called traboules. Old Lyon had about 200 of them, and the French resistance used them during World War II, but very few are accessible to the public today. Lyon's borders expanded in the 19th century as it became an important industrial city. Many city landmarks date from this prosperous period, including a fountain designed by the same sculptor who designed the Statue of Liberty. Silk was one of Lyon's major industries back to the 15th century, weaving and printing, peaking in the 19th century when the city was the silk capital of the world. Jean Brochier opened his own shop in 1890, and it's been in operation ever since. Normally, their workshop tours require prior reservations, but they were kind enough to give us a private tour on the spot, starting from baking their colors. Selecting the combination of base colors and thickening it with guar gum to the desired viscosity so that it applies smoothly. The designs are printed onto screens stretched onto frames, numbered and cataloged, a different frame per color of the design. Flat frame printing is an early 20th century Lyonnaise invention. Previously, patterns were carved onto hard wood and laminated into blocks. The inked block was stamped onto the silk, one block per color of the design. 16th century Lyonnaise imported plates from India, and later designs were made of metal bands pressed into the wood. Brochier has a library of over 12,000 different woodblock designs, ranging from 200 to 100 years old. In flat frame printing, the frame is notched into a guide, ink is poured, and squeegeed onto the silk, twice, then repeated down the line. Brochier has 3,000 frames in their library and is the last workshop in France using this traditional manual process. Hermès uses the same technique, but is 100% automated. The fresh dried scarf is dark and stiff from the gum used in the ink. Washing the scarf brightens the color and makes it smooth as, well, silk. Modern screens are made of polyester because silk stretches. This scarf was printed on an 80-year-old silk screen, and you can see the gaps in the colors. The polyester screen will never have that problem. Flat frame and woodblock aren't the only techniques that are used at Brochier. Long reams of silk have hand-painted designs. And they also hand-paint onto velvet. The tour was free, but of course we had to browse their shop. And Avic found a gorgeous, flat-frame printed scarf for a fraction of the price of an Hermès. We thoroughly enjoyed our few days in Lyon, but it was time to bid adieu and continue our journey north. With more adventures to come from Belgium and neighboring countries, so stay tuned.